Alright, here we are at Suzuka Sunset Race. I did not show my qualifying for race 1 because I did not get a registered qualifying lap, which definitely sucks. But so starting from 14th towards the rear and just trying to keep it safe, not trying to take too many risks. Definitely planning on taking an early pit stop. You can see a car goes off to the left, and at this point I can't see anything, and we're still driving. Another car, or yep, there it is, the car goes off to the left, so I'm driving and bang, get squeezed and knocked off. So kind of sucks there. The car was getting back on track. I don't think they saw me,
Sorry, guys.
and a little bit frustrated as that cost me a ton. I had nowhere I could go. Cost me some safety points, cost me some positions, and then also just some time. There's a car spun around there, so now I'm just in the mode of you know, just have fun with this race, try to find a rhythm. I did not feel fast at Suzuka. I say that quite often. I said that in the Spa race, I didn't feel fast. But I really did not know this track very well at all and did not get much practice time. So this is a low expectations race. So, and my rhythm is completely thrown off now at this point. You can see I'm just running off track, completely flustered from that incident in the first couple turns. So
Come on, tires.
we're just going to try to take an early pit, get out of some traffic, see if we can catch a rhythm, see what we can do at this race at Suzuka. Enjoy a little sunset race at Suzuka.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to mention in the Spa video, but 2 weeks ago we were supposed to race at Zandvoort, and I ended up getting sick, and so I could not race the Zandvoort race, so I lost points from that week. Luckily, and that's why there's no round 5 video, but luckily we are dropping our lowest score of the season.
It's just every time you brake.
Oh my god.
So I'll just be dropping the points from getting 0 points at Zandvoort. Alright, here we go. Moving forward in time. Now I am trying to track down some of the guys towards the rear, so I'm trying to chase down Xavier right now.
Just loves braking zones, eh?
And I've had some races where Xavier's done a really good job of holding me off, so I know this isn't going to be an easy pass, and I make big mistake on the curbs there. I had my car set up feeling perfect in practice, and then I got to race day, and it just felt so oversteery. I don't know if the conditions were different or what, but man, the rear end was so loose, and did not have confidence to push like I should have. So you'll see in this video I'm really fighting the car a lot during this race. So Xavier goes deep there, so now we know that if we can make it clean through there, we can catch him on the straight, and we do. So we are able to make the pass on Xavier there on the long straight at the start of the lap, so that's nice. And he backs out of it, so good, we were able to make a pass there without any major issues.
Sorry, I spawned to a complete spot and engine died right there.
Like I said in the last video, I really want to get my safety rating up to 80 before the end of the season. I'm so frustrated a little bit that on lap 1 I took that big hit and lost those safety points. But nothing you can do about it. So now we're trying to find a little bit of a rhythm here.
Suppose that's what happened over here. Oh shit.
Moving forward to 16 minutes left in the race, and we make the pass on that gorgeous lime Nissan GTR. And we are gaining a decent amount of positions. We've already made our pit stop. 2 cars in front have not made their pit stop, or at least a few cars in front haven't made their pit stop.
Somebody got a warning?
So just getting out of traffic sometimes can really, really allow you to make up a lot of spots. I do think I really want to watch back how I approach these S's, because I think I jabbed the brake too much there.
Oh my gosh.
As I watched it back a couple times, I think I jabbed the brake way too much on just the short little, you know, left right, and I think I moved just too much of the weight balance of the car forward, and then I had no weight on the rear end, which is why I lost it right there. So it took some light damage, lost a few positions. Luckily, all the people took their pit stops, and we were able to somehow get up into 9th place. Had wheels on the AstroTurf there, because I was catching up to Skunkle, so I was getting a little excited. Got all of my wheels up onto the AstroTurf, and then when I hit the brakes, I had no grip, and so went wide.
How the fuck am I getting blue flag?
And that's about it for this first race. Not a lot of action.
I hadn't done my pit yet.
Not, I mean, I guess there was a decent bit of action, but
What the
not a
fuck?
lot of
What
good
happened?
racing from me.
That
Somehow,
happens sometimes because there's a
despite
bridge, faster
racing
cars are going
terribly,
off the bridge while you're passing off, you get a blue flag.
and then also getting bumped off in the first lap, or squeezed, or whatever you want to call it, still able to get a top 10 finish. So not a complete loss again on the AstroTurf, but that time I get back in time to brake. But look at that rear end just kicking out. I did not have this setup
When I came to the pits, I pressed the
dialed in. Then I go wide onto the grass, and just
scrambled to get it back.
nothing about that race felt. Nothing about that race inspired any kind of confidence. Nothing about that race felt smooth. That was just a on edge, inconsistent, bad race. But you know what? We got points. That's all that matters. I could have been frustrated. I could have kind of given up after the first lap and quit or whatever, but
That's really
at least I
bizarre.
stuck with it, made a few passes, and got a top 10 finish. Got into 8th place, I believe, is where we're going to finish.
Got a second penalty.
Not as good as I would want, not as bad as it could have been. That kind of sums up
So unless you selected that, it won't do that.
race 1.
Oh my god. I couldn't
Race 2, though,
Hey, Darwin, were you comfortable with the
as we
one
come
second
around
that
to
you
get
were
our
doing all the turns?
finishing
I
standings.
tried to-
Race 2, though, I do know that I was able to put in a qualifying time, so that's good.
Yeah, I think so, 'cause
Alright, so there's our finishing standings. We finished 8th. Alright, race 2, quali. Here we go.
There you go. Deemed yourself.
And you can see there's 7 minutes left when I put in my best time, so this is usually the time when I'm taking it a little bit easy, trying to play it safe, and
Like a minute longer than me. That's awesome.
then I really push later in quali. So that means when I was pushing later, I invalidated my laps a few times.
Everyone runs full fuel in qualifying,
Grip, grip, grip. There we go.
I did accidentally.
right? Me too. You know what? Practice.
So the front end's definitely
Yeah,
gripping
exactly.
pretty well.
I need it.
The
I can check my tire.
rear end is just constantly wanting to kick out.
Hey, Darwin, what were your lap times?
But I kept toying with the setup and just could not. Every time I would get that oversteer dialed out,
Oh my god, really?
Our first
running
the understeer would really kick in to the point where I couldn't take the S's how I needed to. Um,
I was into
so
sixes.
the understeer was worse than the oversteer.
Yep.
So I just thought, you know, I'll accept some oversteer and try to just drive with a little more finesse. And I think for the second race I also bumped the traction control up a little bit.
What you got, Donnie?
What, lap times?
Yeah.
202, high 202s, low 203s.
Yeah, I knew
my
I couldn't
God.
bother to even ask him. Ooh, I got it.
That's
my
about
fastest
right.
lap.
Put a 203.1.
Just wanted to know how far I was off.
I ran a 204. I thought
Definitely could have pushed harder through there. But
felt good.
this was my safe lap before going into the pits and then pushing for the second half of quali. But
I fucked anything up when I ran 204.
at least I got a time in this race. I think it's going to say,
30 seconds is a lot.
let's see what it says. I think it says P4, but I think I finished P8. Yeah, P8 after other people put in their laps in the second half of quali. All right, here we are. Race 2. Starting behind that big old Bentley.
Have some of that.
All right, here we go.
Oh no, I'm scared.
The goal is, especially when I'm in the middle of the pack like this, just get through it safe. Don't get bumped. I'm trying to stay wide. And I do get bumped a little bit from, I believe it was Skunkle.
Sorry, Jack, did I hit you?
Luckily, it was no
Someone
big
did, but I'm
deal,
not
just
sure.
a tiny little tap. And
This is fucking mayhem.
yes, it does hurt the safety rating, but at least we are able to preserve our lap and not
Somehow,
lose any
getting
positions
bumped turned my lights
because
off.
I was staying wide
I
enough
turned my lights back on.
and had that runoff. So that worked out decently well. And so in my mind, I'm not sure if I'm wanting to pit early or pit late. Skunkle oversteers a little bit there, and we were able to take advantage and make the pass.
Went way too deep there.
So I do notice it's a lot of pretty fast guys in front. And since there are some fast guys in front, I decide
I'm gonna stay out, Stu.
that I am gonna stay out and chase down the fast guys and not pit early. I like that this track has lights too, making the night racing kind of fun. It seems like the sun sets pretty early at this track since it's only 7. Seems like we're catching a few people into the heavy braking zones. So I'm feeling pretty positive overall at this point. You know, 7th place, not great, but not awful, and I'm right there with a few people. You know, if we do well, we can maybe make a few passes. Maybe we could get up into the top 5, who knows. Through the S's, still never felt super great about how I was approaching the S's, but I guess it's the kind of section that you don't ever feel like you 100% nailed. We are getting, you know, a little bit close to Silent Guy here. He's probably just getting used to the McLaren.
Whoa.
And a little late on the brakes, and I'm kind of going inside, and
Oh my God.
thought I was going to make a pass for a second, but no luck.
Right? That's why I let you by.
Thought the opportunity might be there as Silent kind of went a little bit wide,
It's the Green Lantern.
and I was later on the brakes, but
Seriously? I love it. Holy shit.
no luck. But I am finally, at this point, feeling a little bit of a rhythm at this track. Previously, I had only raced this track on Project Cars 2, which isn't even an official version of this track. There's some differences because of licensing. So I really was learning this track almost brand new. And I didn't have a lot of time to practice. Whew.
Oh no, I got some weird leg shit going on.
Excuse me. I didn't have a lot of time to practice before this race, so definitely felt towards the slower end of things, but we continued to chase down Silent for a while. I'm moving forward in time because that's pretty much all that video would have been, was just following Silent, staying consistent. And then I miss a braking zone there, and I decided just to straight up cut the track, kind of a little bit cheap because I gained a lot of time there. I did get my track warning. I guess in my head I was like, well, if I'm going to get a track warning, I might as well use the most of it. A little bit of a cheap move, but if you do it too many times, you're going to get a drive-through, so let's not try to do that again. And you can see, if you're watching my wheel movements at all, on the top, on the right side of the screen, there's just so often I'm having to counter steer and catch my slides, like right there, which is costing me time. Through the S's, I'm often having to counter steer and catch my slides.
Yeah, you are.
Right there. So definitely was fighting the car the entire time.
This
Shit's
hard
race
track
almost
to
already
pass on
fucking
though.
over. Holy fuck.
I'm going pit, Crack. I'm going pit.
This fucking sucks.
And we have a big oversteer there when I hit the curb, and I got so lucky. I got so lucky that I was able to catch the oversteer. I was able to avoid the wall, and I really did not lose too much time. That was probably the luckiest. You know, I completely lost the rear end.
Good night, Taxi. Sorry about the race, man.
Was almost sideways and was able to, you know, the fact that the track was turning to the right there, everything just worked out perfectly to where my mistake did not cost me too greatly. Alright, so now we got about 8 minutes left. I'm sitting in 6th place, I think, but I have not taken my pit stop, so a lot of people around me haven't taken their pit stop either, so who knows what's going to happen with
Damn, Johnny, you were pretty close to making it in there.
I've done it before here.
and we dive into the pits with 6 minutes left.
I could imagine.
Oh, fuck.
As we come out of the pits, let's see where we land. And we land in, I think that's going to be P7. Not too bad. Started P8. Coming out of the pits in P7. You know, not too bad, especially, again, like I said, for a track I'm not great at.
My own car is reflecting into my own eyes. Like reflects right off the corner of the hood.
So about 5 minutes left in the race. P7, got a little gap in front. Skunkle's behind me trying to chase me down. Car is twitchy and oversteery, so let's just see if we can bring this thing home. And, oh, now we're up into P6, so I think we passed somebody in the pits. Somebody that needed to take a pit, so P6 is a real strong finish for starting 8th. could not complain with P6 if that's where we finish. You know, my memory is a little fuzzy on this. I think that's where we finish though. Through the S's. Yeah, I really think I'm hitting the brakes a little too hard there. That's better. But I need to, that's something, if we race at Suzuka again, I really need to make sure I'm a little better on the brakes through the S's. Which is why I was oversteering so frequently through there.
Aaron's going for the last second pit.
Consistency rating definitely took a hit too. Those are the two I really want to get up high. Is I want to get my consistency rating and my safety rating up high before the end of the season. Personal goals. And I also want to finish in the top. I'd love to finish in the top 5.
I don't know. It's
But we'll
pretty
see.
close. Did you go past another lap already?
No, there's one more lap.
And it does look like we're going to bring home the 6th place finish.
That's it?
As we just have a couple turns to go.
You did what Ice did last race.
What's that? To finish the race in the pit?
Yeah.
That was
Good
chicken
ass
shit
race.
to me, and I didn't mean to do that.
That's the thing Nog got really upset about one time.
There we have it, 6th place. And to update you on the standings and how I'm doing this season, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are currently P7. We drop our lowest score of the season, which means Skunkle and P5 will be dropping at least 20 points, which gets me a little bit close to Skunkle.
I did not mean to do that.
I'm about 20 points behind JD.
Wild time.
So a top 5 finish is possible, not out of the realm of possibilities, but I got some work to do. It's currently sitting P7 with 2 weeks left. We got Bathurst on Wednesday, which is potentially going to rain, and then we got the Nürburgring after Bathurst. We'll see. It's probably going to be a little bit cold in Germany since we use real weather. And it's going to be the first week of November. Might be a little bit chilly, so cold tires. Might be a little bit rainy in Bathurst, so this week's race could be chaos. Could be a fun one to watch if you want to tune in. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.